So when Google released Google Pixel 6 to us, we found out that this is one of the flagships or the kind of phones we've always been expecting Google to provide for us. So in this video, we are going to review all the specs of this phone and what it's capable of doing. So if you're new here, just give this a thumbs up so that you don't miss the upcoming post about this phone. And without further ado, let's just dive into the video. So this is one of the best phones Google has actually made. So first of all, we're going to talk about the body. So with the body, this phone actually weighs 207 grams, and then also the front facing glass right here is Gorilla Glass Victus, and then with the back right here also is a Gorilla Glass 6. So it's a very strong glass. When you just compare the name, you're gonna know that this device is very strong, but it doesn't mean you can just drop it and it's never gonna crack. So you have to just handle this device with care, because the back is glass and then the front right here we definitely know is glass. So this device supports a nano SIM. When you check out right here, this is the SIM side of the phone. It supports a nano SIM and also can support eSIM, and then it comes with IP68 water and dust resistant, which means this device right here can just dive into water for 30 minutes and then 1.5 meters deep. So it doesn't mean you should just go swim with it, or probably maybe feel like you want to drop it in water because it is a water resistant phone. It probably might just go off and it wouldn't work anymore, but Google is telling us this is IP68, which means it's water resistant. The display is AMOLED with 90 Hz. When you check out right here, you can see it moves very cool, and then it means this is a very slick phone, a 90 Hz phone, which is one of the kind we've always been looking for. I'm yet to try the Pro to see how the 120 Hz feels with the Google Pixel phone, but the 90 Hz, I'm not gonna lie about it, ever since I just unboxed this device and then tried using it, it's very cool. It's slick, and then it feels like you are really using a flagship. So this is one cool thing I like about it, and also has an HDR10 plus, and then its display is 6.4 inches and the resolution is 1080 by 2400 pixels, and the phone also has always on display, which is pretty much very cool. So this device came with Android 12, which we all know that is the latest version of Android that we have right now, and it has a lot of cool stuff coming to us with the Material You theming and everything, just making Android 12 one of the best things we've ever seen, or one of the best OS we've ever found or gotten from Android so far. This phone actually comes with it, so that is pretty much very cool. With Android 12 coming in play, it means a lot of things are going to happen on this device. Its chipset is a Google Tensor, which is Google's own made chipset, and this time they are not going with the Snapdragons or other chipset that other Google Pixel phones have been running, but they are running with a Tensor chip right here, which with time I'm going to make a lot of videos trying to talk about how this is and then how it works, so that we know how best this Tensor chip is going to be on other devices, which Google is actually going to provide in the near future. So that is pretty much very cool. Again, this device doesn't come in with a card slot, a memory card slot, and you can get internal storage of 128 gigabytes and then 8 gig of RAM, and then also 256 gigabytes and then 8 gig of RAMs. So it has a very cool camera right here, which is a dual camera with 50 megapixels wide angle with f.1.9 aperture, and also this is a 12 megapixels ultra wide camera with f2.2 aperture. So that is basically very cool, and also has a dual LED flash with a pixel shift and also autofocus, and that is pretty much very cool too. So it shoots video in 4K 30 frames per second and also 4K 60 frames per second, and can also shoot in 1080p 60 frames per second and then 30 frames per second, and it can also shoot 1080 30 frames per second and then 60 frames per second, and also 120 frames per second and 40 frames per second, which is pretty much very cool. This is one of the Google cameras that has a very great specs right here. And when it comes to the front facing camera, we have a single camera with f.20 aperture and also auto HDR panorama, and then can shoot video in 1080p 30 frames per second. It has loudspeaker and then a stereo speakers right here at the top, and that is basically very cool. So we have some speakers too right here at the down side of it, and that is very cool. It has no headphone jacks like we used to have on the previous Pixels, and that is basically very cool. So it has Bluetooth, and that needs to be highlighted because some devices might not provide Bluetooth, probably maybe because Wi-Fi is becoming something that a lot of people are using lately. And also it doesn't have Face ID, but rather has under display optical fingerprint, which is very sharp, but some people had problems trying to unlock it. But I'm going to make other videos to just show you how you are going to be able to just unlock this device with a single touch, and that's pretty much very cool. So that is one thing you guys need to know. And it has a battery size of 4614 milliamperes, and it's non-removable with fast charging, 30 watts, 50% battery charged in 30 minutes. So that is one of the coolest things. But I've seen a lot of people complaining that they don't see the battery charging fast like how Google is trying to state. But I think with time and updates that Google are going to run, we are going to just get this one right here. With wireless charging too, we have 21 watts, and then we have reverse charging too, which is one of the new features I think I'm going to highlight in my upcoming videos, and that is going to be pretty much very cool. So when you check out the performance too, the battery has been given a duration of 86 hours of endurance, and that is pretty much very cool. And I'm sure Google is actually going to do a lot of updates which is actually going to make the battery very stable too, and adapt the way you use your device. So pretty much that is all I want to share with you about the reviews, and I'm going to do other videos that is going to highlight the tips and tricks and everything of this device right here. So if you want to know more about it, just subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share this video with anyone who you think is going to be interested in this device. And then also like this video up, check out this video right here, and you're going to know how you're going to be able to set up a Google Pixel device when you just first buy it. And without further ado, I'm just going to catch you in the next video. Peace.